Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Takamori back at it with another video, and today I'm joined by Brayden and Ratman, and we're going to be reacting to the downfall of Cinder. This is crazy, man. Let's get into it. Okay, what's up, YouTube? Today we are watching Cinder's downfall. Minute,
In real time.
in real time.
This
in
is
real
actually
time.
a live stream we're watching.
Yeah, this is live. This is live. It only says an hour and 51 minutes because that's the projected time it's going to take for Cinder to
Yeah.
fall down to hell.
Oh yeah, 100%.
He's getting dragged to hell as we speak.
Alrighty, boys, are you ready to get into the video?
I guess.
Well, guys, it took a while, but after 4 months, 2025 has officially had its first apocalyptic level VTuber drama that has caused an industry-wide disaster. This is about one of the biggest independent VTubers on the planet and how for years, while pretending to be her friend, tried to take away opportunities and suppress the success of an even bigger independent VTuber by the name of Bao. This all started when a very well-renowned artist within the VTuber community published this document titled Terminating My Work with Cinder. This document is such a bombshell filled to the brim with proof that it's currently sitting at almost 3 million views and it hasn't even been up for 20.
Jackie Robinson.
He's got to get that memorized.
You have to understand, this doesn't just involve Bao, this involves multiple very successful VTubers being backstabbed by that person. And that is barely scraping the surface.
Oh my gosh.
Not to mention that her apology was one of the worst I've seen in recent memory. So as I mentioned, the VTuber at the center of this controversy is Cinder, but she didn't always go by that name. She actually started off in 2020 as a YouTuber by the name of Tashi.mp3, making a variety of different ASMR RP videos. Like, you're such a good boy for me.
You would know that, yeah.
RP. A year later, on June 2021, she would create her Twitch channel under the name of Cinder and would start streaming. The whole thing was a resounding success, and people fell in love with her model almost instantly. At the time, very few models looked like her.
I wonder why.
As innovative, unique even.
I wonder why they
Had
did.
two very big
Yeah,
reasons to keep your attention.
Okay.
During her debut, she would spend close to an hour showing off her model and the different features that it came with. Nanolist was also able to gain some of this traction because she was behind the design of her model. This allowed her to start receiving many commissions from other VTubers who wanted a similar style, and as you can see from how many followers she had in 2023, she was also able to grow exponentially. Cinder would understand that one of the things people loved about her was the design behind her model, so she stuck with Nano and would keep commissioning a new model or outfit every few months. Now look, when it comes to VTuber models and VTuber
there's one consistent feature here.
Yeah, I feel like
thousands
it's got two big cocking
The fact that she was able to do this every few months already showed the resounding success that she found in content creation. Content creator on the entirety of Twitch.
She's got to try a little harder though. I think
that growth was that she was able to
maybe she'll get some other
the VTuber friend group that included the biggest indie VTubers on the planet. She was seen as a dear friend, and as far as the others knew, that's how she saw them too.
That one's a
collabing
dude
together and always being a part of their tier.
I think that's Shoto.
It's a dude VTuber.
The only dude there.
Yeah, I think that's Shoto. I think.
Where's Senzawa?
Wait, that's Todoroki?
What?
You said Shoto, man. It's Totoro.
Yeah. Eat a Takimas.
Eat a Takimas.
Lists or whatever other challenges they do. But that's
what
not
about the
all.
one
Her
guy that did the
success
concert?
knew no
Holy
bounds. In the beginning of 2025, she announced that she was a partial owner of the company Gamer Subs. All this to tell you that she was extremely successful. Guys, she was never in any controversy. As far as anyone was concerned, she had
calm down, bro. Calm down.
Yeah.
Life imitates art. No.
What? You said that already.
Yeah, I know. It's called a callback.
It just works for this.
It's called a callback.
Is it a callback though? I think you just want to talk about feet.
As well as a really cool design. So of course, no one could have ever expected that it would just take.
You're really doing a good job for yourself on that comment.
Entire successful career come crashing down in an instant.
So
Cinder,
the person that gave her giant knockers, is saying no more.
Basically, yeah, basically.
So she starts off with a section slandering other creators, which is Gamer Subs, sometimes over Cinder, and we can't really confront them about it, and plus, she's gone 3D lately. Bao has been getting on our nerves for a while. She hijacked.
Imagine that being a huge problem.
And is constantly picking
Like, yeah, she used to be
Yeah.
2D, but fuck, she's 3D now. That
She
bitch.
she joined the 3Ds.
Not the
Fuck.
I can never forgive
3Ds.
her.
Not the 3Ds.
Yeah,
no.
she used to be cool, but then she went 3D.
Yeah. Now her boobs move. Fuck.
Now her boobs look like you can touch them.
Yeah.
Fuck.
We're stopping that now.
Yeah, we're done with that.
No
This
more.
bit's over.
Bad bit. It went sour quick.
Art is the most important thing.
Yeah.
That's a VTuber's
You know
intense
that
image.
that
While we
power
love
couple that
working
tries to
with
fuck
Sim-
over people? Don't work with them.
Bro.
Only
Yeah.
work with us 3Ds.
Cinder wouldn't be Cinder without Nano.
You're a
Okay,
3D
but, like,
editor
let me tell
now.
you the tea about the music
Yeah.
video thing. I don't know, man. She has a way of guilt tripping people to get her way. So these
That
are
guy
the
loves
a Yeah.
anyway, and it's
SpongeBob
already looking
sticker.
kind of bad.
Yeah, he
If
also
continues
loves
with Marvel-
the hypocritical. Oh yeah, they love gaslighting people, but
Yeah.
you?
We
No,
don't.
you're
No.
you're
You're-
good.
you're
You're a
good. You're
you're on
chilling.
our side.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
on our side. Don't worry about them. I'm just telling you everything you need to know. But be careful of them guilt tripping you.
Yeah, don't listen to them when you listen to me.
Yeah.
her way.
They're, you
So
know,
these
they
are the
might be
DMs
they
for-
might try to gaslight you, but I won't do that.
No. I don't even
No.
believe in gaslighting, and if you do,
Yeah.
you're kind of stupid.
In my
saying.
opinion, it's not real, but it's only real when they do it. Like if they do it to
Yeah.
you, then it's real, but like I
Yeah.
would never do that.
Like type shit, you know?
Oh, dude, you guys are insane, bro.
I won't gaslight you. I won't
Yeah.
do that.
Me
I won't
and
gaslight you.
me and Mr. Person or Mrs. Person that got never mind. No, never mind.
All right,
Bro.
moving on.
Full
I just see the
You know what?
screaming
Hey, can we
kitty.
pause for a minute? I think I shit my pants.
Wait, what? Huh? Oh.
Be right back.
1 million, zillion, jillion, dillion, cotillion times later.
Woo! All right, crisis
Welcome
averted.
back. Welcome back.
Yeah. Let's talk about this VTuber.
Jesus.
Okay, what are you guys' thoughts so far on this situation?
Yo, I don't really have many thoughts other than what we were just talking about. To be honest
Yeah.
with you.
Oh.
It just seems like she's a bitch.
Hmm.
It seems
About
like
it.
Redacted did a lot of the heavy lifting.
Yeah, it seems like he's like the ringleader, like the mafioso.
He's doing a lot of this lifting.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, no, Bao.
Yeah.
She stole our editor.
Yeah, fuck
She
her.
stole him. Stolen.
Stolen.
Won't give him back.
Alrighty.
But you are ours.
You're ours
And
forever.
only ours.
Alright, I'm gonna start it now.
Type shit.
Let's continue.
titled Exclusivity and Blacklisting Other Creators. In the
Oh,
messages below,
snap.
they mentioned wanting an
Damn.
exclusivity contract, but they didn't want to pay for exclusivity. But rather, when a creator from their blacklist comes asking for a commission, they would guarantee me model
I actually
work
heard
for
about
Cinder
this.
only, and
This is
if
where they
anyone
put
asked me for
A
commissions,
list of
they commission
creators in a doc and then turn it into dark mode.
Oh.
What?
Yeah.
me instead to
That's
compensate for
blacklisting.
not working with other creators. This felt very
when you
strange,
turn a
given
list
that
dark.
one of the accusations they made was overworking
Yeah.
their editor, yet their solution to me
That
working
was
with
the
other
joke. I don't
creators
know
was
if
for them
Anthony
to
got it.
essentially overwork
Yeah.
me to keep me from
I
working with
did.
other
I
did
just
get
I
it.
just
the
now
messages
got.
below
Yeah.
show that their primary concern is that the
Oh.
more
Yeah, you actually write their
non-Cinder
names
models
and
I
then you
make,
turn the
less
font color to
valuable
black.
Oh fuck.
that their
Yep,
primary
blacklist.
concern is that the more non-Cinder models I make, the less valuable my existing models become. It's
Wait,
hard
wait,
to say
wait,
how
what?
Cinder
Hold on.
models- The messages below show that their primary concern is that the more non-Cinder models I make, the less valuable my existing models become. It's hard to say how much this
That's
messed with
crazy.
my mind as an artist that by working with other
Wait,
people,
pause.
I'm somehow making my existing models less special.
My brain's fucked right now. I have to reread that.
Okay, so basically what they said to Nano here is saying, hey, if you make like your rigged models for other people, then it's basically gonna become shit because everyone else has it and it's not gonna be unique anymore. And you should only
they
work for
lose the
us.
exclusivity like a Fortnite skin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I got it.
That's insane, bro.
So, Nanoliths, the more Fortnite skins you make, the more Fortnite skins people have. So, basically, if you make less Fortnite skins, they're more rare.
Or only make them for one streamer, essentially,
If you make the Nick A30 icon skin and not
only
the
give
Ninja
it the
one,
Nick A30.
then it's more exclusive.
Yeah,
Your work. Yeah, I'm getting it. I had to
Like
put it in
Fortnite.
Fortnite terms.
like Fortnite.
I'm not allowed to work with any new clients or create any new outfits for VTuber 1 specifically, and justifying those things by saying that with each
Shit, they're
model my
creating the
art becomes
blacklist.
less unique and special, and therefore Cinder somehow
Fuck.
will become less
Dog.
special. The
What was that? Cinder would somehow become less special. Whoa.
Oh, she can't, dude. Look at her
That's-
big ass titties.
She's got giant knockers. That's not how it works.
Yeah, galaxy cannons. Like she's.
You
not...
gave
Yeah,
her
right.
big knockers. If you don't keep giving her big knockers, she'll lose value.
Make them bigger for Christ's sake.
For every another person that you work with, she gets an extra size on her tits.
Yeah.
My
It's
work
gonna be
as an artist and
Z-cups.
designer is devalued by working with other people
Every
is
time
insane
that
and
you make
hurtful.
another
After
model,
realizing what
her
taking a
boobs
deal with them would
shrink.
really mean, and it starts off with Redacted saying, I mean, like, if we wanted to have some kind of model exclusivity, what would you need to make that sustainable for you? Nano replies with, maybe you can share one of your ideas and I can check what I think. Half an hour passes by, Redacted doesn't say anything, Nano says something, and it's, okay, so I got some ideas for this, I guess. Redacted says, I was driving, what are you thinking? Nano says, okay, so I asked help from my friends,
Dude,
they
he
don't know it's
really
you, so
likes
don't worry.
killing
So a
SpongeBob.
monthly fee, calculating my monthly earnings.
He is so
Also, how long would this be? And if this
like,
counts for
Squidward's
models I already
account.
worked on, Redacted
Hey.
replies with, well, I think the
That
main
makes
things I'm looking
sense.
for are for you to
Yeah.
not take any brand new
Oh my-
model clients
again?
and to not make any
Yeah.
new models outfits for blank.
God, I'm
brand.
so,
this
like,
is them deliberately
ADHD brain.
targeting
I just did
one
not pay
VTuber
attention to
in
anything the guy
particular.
was saying. I was just paying attention to the emoji.
Okay, we gotta start paying attention, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on,
I was
come on,
like,
come
oh
on.
my
Lock in,
god,
lock
dead
in, lock in.
SpongeBob for two.
I'm
double dead
reading, I'm
SpongeBob.
reading it.
Lock in,
The
lock
double
in.
dead. The double chunk chocolate cookie.
And second is that there's a few people that we just would rather not be able to have a model
Nano
from you. Maybe
babies.
not any new babies at all. The reason why I brought this up at all is that
That
there's been a lot
second
of bias
statement
with
is
another
insane.
one of our partners.
Wait, which
One
part?
and second.
And second is that there's a few people that we just would not oh my god, would rather
Okay.
not be able to have a model from you. I had to take out my finger and point it across my screen to fucking read that properly. The way he's talking pissed me off. Like, put a fucking comma somewhere.
And second
even
is
know
that there's
where.
a few people that we just rather not be able to have a model from you.
Yeah, it's kinda
Yeah.
crazy.
So basically,
Or
yeah, you
he
just
said,
can't have
maybe not any new babies at all. So basically he's saying there's a few people that we just wouldn't want you to make stuff for, or just
Yeah.
don't fucking make stuff for anybody.
Even though you're your own person.
Quit your fucking job, work for me.
Yeah. Yeah, you work for us now. Even though you're an independent contractor, you work for us now.
Yeah,
You're a
that's basically what
freelance
it's saying
artist?
here.
Free?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like
Okay.
under new management. I love that movie.
Babies at all. The reason why I brought this up at all is that there's been a lot of bias with another one of our partners with certain creators, and we'd rather these creators not have what makes Cinder unique, which is your artwork. Just
That's
draw.
that's so insane, dude.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That is
Not our
absolutely
giant
insane.
kids.
And now,
If you don't make this Fortnite skin, we will try to get you to make one for us instead. But just tell them no. Like, you were already working on our Fortnite skin. So, you know, you still get paid. That's basically what they're doing right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop
wondering
using the
who-
Fortnite skin analogy.
so this is extremely recent, like a couple weeks ago, right? In
I was
mid-
trying really
Wait.
hard not to laugh at that, and you snickered.
A couple that was dude, that's this year, bro. Oh my gosh.
Wasn't that like a couple months ago?
Holy cow.
It's so
And
funny to
five-
me. It's like we're just like talking, and then Anthony's like so locked in on the video, he just
Yeah.
completely disregards what we said.
You guys gotta lock
Said-
in, bro. Lock in.
I said
We are locked
we are. We're
Made
just
a
making
joke
small
about what
talk.
we were watching.
Oh.
And I
watching.
said, I said, what about extroverted Lily? And he goes, do you mean Larry? And then we just stopped talking, and then you're still watching the video.
My bad, bro. I'm locked in, bro. I'm locked in hard.
Yeah, we're unmasking you right now.
Yeah,
extremely
take
recent,
your
like,
mask
a couple
off,
weeks
boy.
ago, right? In
what the
mid-April
mask
2025, with
I was
Redacted
gonna say
saying,
mask
hey,
off,
Nano,
fucking
do you have
mask
more
off,
plans
but
with Lily besides just the model, like outfits or merch or anything? Nano says, been just the model so far, to which Redacted says, okay, her asking you for a model recently just made the
V
antenna
card.
go up. She's been acting weird towards Cinder lately, and we don't know if something's going on.
Vagina.
Nano says, oh, that's weird. Redacted
Okay.
says, ever since
It's not
after
what that
V
even
Card
means.
launched, which is a VTuber trading card game that Shy Lily helped launch.
Holy shit.
What
Nano
the
says, but what do you
fuck?
consider weird?
Improper
And Redacted
proportions,
says,
golly.
lately dipping out of collabs they were
I
both a
thought she
part
was
of at the last
shy.
minute, and now ghosting her messages. Cinder's rated her a couple times
Pretty
on Twitch
fucking
in the past
extroverted.
week, and Lily won't acknowledge
Doesn't look
Cinder
very
by
shy
name.
to me.
Just like pretty weird,
Proud
petty
Lily.
stuff. I don't know.
Yeah,
Nano
bold.
says that's super weird since they both share the same store, lol. Referring to
Italic
Vtuber subs
Lily.
that they both have partial ownership in.
Oh my
And
God.
Redacted says, especially when it comes to our top artist, never a break. Nano
Yeah,
says,
also-
don't
It's
worry,
this
just
video.
don't
Also,
pause
hold
too
on.
much with the side
Yeah, I was
things.
gonna go
It's
back,
bad for
pause
business.
it. Yeah.
This is insane. So like,
Yeah.
they're just like, really. This is so bad. This I don't even know what to compare this to, but I've heard this so much where it's like, oh, we got to stay informed, you know. Thanks for telling us all the scoop. Especially we got to like stay informed for our top artists, you know. Is like buttering them up, so it sounds like they're not just manipulating them.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Also, it's not even related that much, but the redacted guy literally is like not spamming stickers, but he's constantly using a sticker of the Cinder girl, which is just
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a little
Especially like right after
weird.
saying or right before saying what I was talking about.
yeah.
It's like as if it's Cinder saying what is manipulation.
Well, I wonder if it is Cinder saying it.
It could be. It really could be.
Who knows, man? Who knows? Barely even 20 minutes in, dude. Oh my gosh.
Holding.
It's
Redacted
'cause we're
replies, I'm gonna
yappers.
go
80
bald
more
now.
minutes
I'll
left.
keep you in the
We're
loop about
yappers.
anything else going on with that. Nano replies,
We,
with,
bro,
"Go
you are
balding?"
talking.
And Redacted
What the
says,
fuck?
no, you fool, just stupid drama. Gotta stay competitive even when we shouldn't have to. Also,
No,
your
you
profile picture looks like a guy with a mustache. And Nano
Bro,
says,
what?
don't go too far on the competitiveness. It can get bad. Gotta chill sometimes. To which
bad for
Redacted
balding.
says, hey, it's not us. We
But
aren't
it
the
is
ones
you though. It is you. You're blacklisting your content creator friends like that's like bro.
look at the reaction. It's a Pepe.
Exactly, bro. That's literally my face right now.
It's like,
Hold on, let me go down to the chat
I
and
don't know
see.
about that.
Yeah, like come on, man. Come on.
it's like, hey, like, chill out on like the competitiveness, you know? Hey, we're not competitive.
Mm,
um,
I don't know. It doesn't seem like it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
getting a model from the artist of the other Gamer Subs owner out of the blue and ghosting them and refusing to acknowledge them. You know, this is made weirder by the fact that both
Hey,
Shy
last I
Lily
checked,
and
it's
Cinder
pretty
are
acknowledged.
co-owners of a company, and this is
Yeah.
how Cinder is treating her. Her competitiveness
butt
knew
on my screen
no
right now.
bounds. She would probably push a toddler off a bridge if it meant getting 100 extra viewers
That's not a
on
toddler.
Twitch, okay? Nano continues in the document saying, below I wanted to
That's a
push
liar,
back
too.
and
It's
make
like
it
a-
clear I was uncomfortable on being
Wait,
dragged
we're
into
being
drama, and they
manipulated.
responded by bringing up more drama and baseless claims, all while trying to guilt trip me. It is ironic and crazy to me that I mentioned not wanting to be dragged into personal issues, only for them to on multiple occasions mention other people's alleged drama. So this is
Oh,
where things
wait,
get
what?
real, because it's not Redacted
Seems
doing the
alright.
talking, it's Cinder directly.
Oh,
The
snap.
DMs were for bringing
This is so
to me.
fucked up.
Cinder then replies with, I want you to get that money. The whole situation is just kind of sucky. I want to just get along. And then Nano specifies that
I want
the
you to
phrase
get
that she
my
said,
money.
I understand if things didn't work out, meant that it would be mostly if you hate me for not burning blank down from my list. To which Cinder reassures her, saying, I would never hate you. And Nano said, thank you, and same, I'm just an insecure bitch. Cinder ends this conversation by saying, I love everything we've
Why
done
you say
together,
it
and
like
I want to keep doing
don't
more.
know.
People saying dumb shit online just makes me stressed. Nano continues in the document,
a clip.
saying, justifying their behavior by stating they are simply looking out for me when none of this has anything to do with me to begin with, and manipulating me into being
Exactly.
grateful for earning well thanks to them despite the loss of work from long-time returning
Exactly.
clients and new
That's like what I
clients.
was trying to
As you
say.
can see,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
already a handful, and we're barely halfway through this document. It gets worse. But at the end of the day, it's just business. Bro, what is this? The mafia? Pointing a gun at your head and before shooting you saying it's nothing personal, it's just business? What the hell is this? Your very
It's not
first
like-
model babies was so amazing. I was happy.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I understand if you just don't want to work with me anymore. Like they're basically saying it's one or the other. Like you can't work with me and other people. It's either you work with other people and not me or only me.
Yeah,
Is basically what they're saying, which is fucked.
super.
Sorry, guys, I'm back.
You were gone
good.
that. Okay, let me rewind for you.
No,
No,
I was
it's fine,
here.
it's
I
fine.
I
Oh.
wasn't able to talk.
Well, do you have any comments on that then?
Not really. Just kind of fucked up.
Continues in the document saying Red
Okay,
tries to make
so
it look like they never meant for
that last bit, like, sounds fine. Like, if it
This
was
part
just
right
that
here?
last bit, yeah,
Yeah.
like if it was just those last like 4 paragraphs, it'd be fine. But they're like, it's not. So
Yeah.
it's a big problem because
Well, even
those
like the
last 4
last.
paragraphs, yeah, those last 4 paragraphs is just like, well, obviously, like we love your art, so if like if you have time to fit it in your schedule, I'll send you some stuff. That's basically what that is. But before they were saying stuff like, "Oh no, schedule." No, this is us, only
I was gonna
us.
say even the last sentence of the paragraph right above the fourth one. It's like, but just let me know if you don't have time for me to be an exclusive Nano Art
Yeah,
baby
exactly.
anymore. Like, well, that's like forcing a Nano into a spot to be like, well, no, well, I mean, you were like my first, so obviously you're, one of my
Yeah.
like. It's
I
kind of
think
fucked up.
what it was more, I kind of saw it like that, and then I kind of thought about it a little bit more, and it was more like
Mm-hmm.
just to make sure that it fits in the schedule rather than like they don't have to wait on Nano to finish to get
Yeah.
another thing.
Yeah.
They can just like commission someone else for it,
Mm-hmm.
but that wouldn't make them an exclusive Nano baby anymore. That would be like they have multiple people doing their stuff, but
Yeah.
you know, it's still fucked up.
right? To which Redacted says, "Oh, I see. I mean, what I said is still true about how we feel,
What?
but I wasn't saying you."
What? Whoa,
There's
whoa,
no
whoa.
there's no way you can be like, oh yeah, no, that makes sense, but it doesn't. So you see, I'm still right.
Yeah.
Bro.
It's like, you know what? I see why you're worried, but fuck you. I'm still right. You're actually stupid. You have no reason to worry.
Exactly. Just do only our shit. All right. Don't
Yeah,
even.
it's like as long as you just do our work,
Yeah. Don't even
we'll
trip
be
dog.
fine. Yeah, don't even worry about it. Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
Don't worry
Yeah,
about it, sweetheart.
Don't worry your head.
The
Because
thing
she
for me
values
about
Cinder
this
as
whole
a
thing
friend
so
and-
far is
Mhm.
like Nano's very obviously like doing these messages, telling their friends about it, and then coming back and being like, "Hey, this isn't right." Like my friends
Yeah.
and me both said, like, you know what you're doing is kind of fucked up, right? Like, can we like change this a little bit? Like this, like she's coming back realizing like, hey, this is kind of manipulation, right? And then they've
Yeah.
just doubled down on it. They're just like, yeah, no, it kind of is, but like, it's not. See,
Yeah.
I'm right. It's like
Oh.
discrediting everything that the good people in Nano's life are saying.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. Insane.
Because they're obviously.
Yeah, they're liars. They would fuck her up.
client, but
It's so like, and as if they're not like definitely together. They're like, oh yeah, no, I still have to tell this to Cinder, you know.
Yeah, like they're definitely not on a call right now or something, or
Yeah, totally not.
that would be unlike them at all.
That's like another level, yeah.
It doesn't sound like them at all.
transparent as
So
much as possible. I think it's
basically,
more fair for both sides this
they
way.
like they started off like, oh, hey, can you like work less on other people's stuff, but like still do it just because like you know you got to get
Yeah.
that bag. And then it came to like recently this year where they're like, hey, just don't fucking work with these people.
Also,
Just
again,
not at all.
2 Cinder stickers.
Yeah, only do Cinder, and like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep spamming Cinder stickers,
Yeah, so
but
you
don't
get
work
the
with other people.
message.
Yeah, really get the message. Really get the point across.
Oh.
It's almost like Cinder's talking to you directly.
Yeah.
What about her close friends that she backstabbed so shamelessly? What was their reaction? Well, Cottontail was one of the people mentioned in that.
Okay, we're
I
good.
know her.
Of course you know Cotton, bro. Of course you know Cotton.
Yeah, you
How-
would know
How would I, of
Cottontail.
course, know her?
Bro, okay,
She's
why
a
do you...
porn- that voice actress.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's how I know her, yeah.
Of course, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, what are your guys'
That's so
thought on that?
crazy.
How long was this? 30
30
minute?
minutes.
Yeah, how long? What are you guys' thoughts in that 30-minute section right there?
Yeah.
I kind of like said my thoughts
Yeah.
throughout the.
Yeah, so do I. I can't really give
Just
a
a lot of-
synopsis.
Just a lot of like textbook manipulation
Mhm.
tactics.
Yeah, kind of like if you went to psychology school and you had to learn about gaslighting. That'd
I'm
kind of
sure
be
that
like,
would be like spot on for
yeah, that'd be like what they use as like
an example.
tests. Yeah, like an
Yeah.
example.
keep an artist from
Also,
me because they
pause,
think I'm a threat to them.
The wording on this is fucking ridiculous. You don't work with Bao, Cotton, or Blank at all again. Like, he put it in italics. He had to make sure that his fucking point
Yeah.
went across.
Yeah.
What a
Then he
dick.
dropped
So
another fucking
weird.
SpongeBob sticker.
Yeah. Like,
This one's alive though, just
I
to
love
really
how he's
like
just like, you know,
be eye catching.
it's not like, oh, you shouldn't work. It's like, you will not work.
Yeah.
and that's the most recent text. That's 2025. The other ones were like
Yeah.
2023, 2024.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
this
yeah.
year.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
you
this
will
was like a
not
month
fucking
ago.
work with them.
Like this was probably like the
3,
breaking
4 months
point of
ago.
why they even did this in the first place.
Well, because that's what I was saying earlier. Is like it started out like, oh hey, we really appreciate your work. Like, can you like try to fit us in your schedule more? To you just don't work with anyone else.
Yeah.
You're our model artist now.
Yeah, you. Yeah, that's the autism kicking in.
Huh?
I do that too.
What? Do what?
He's trying to put his cursor in the cursor on the screen.
Yeah,
We do
I don't
all
know.
we do all the same things, and he's actually autistic.
Yeah, we're cooked.
Mm.
We're toast.
But of course,
Alright.
Cottontail was far from being the only one affected here. 5 minutes after Nano released her document, Bao
That profile
broke here
picture.
and said, "I was very hurt by someone
Feels-
I thought was a friend."
feels,
with her
appropriate for
own
this.
Google document. It's like Bao murdered one of their family members and got away with it. Like, what did she do, man? Anyone who's ever worked with her has said nothing but good things about her.
Whoa.
All her friends.
Hey,
What
you
is
need to pull her
that?
top up.
What is
Oh,
that?
That's not what
Kirby.
I'm talking about.
Nah, look, watch,
Do, man.
watch right
Anyone who's
here.
ever worked with her has said
Oh,
nothing but
God
good things
damn.
about her.
Damn.
Friends, she decided to target the person who is probably the nicest out of all of them. And that, of course, will
That's
traumatize a
super fucked
person.
up.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
The VTuber Sane compiled all the different
sure, like,
collabs and things that both
Now they're
Bao
probably like, what are my other friends saying?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
for
exactly.
sure. That's what everyone's thinking on Twitter, dude.
Yeah. That's super fucked up.
Insane, bro. Like Kenji was
Yeah, like,
talking about it, Clan was talking about it, Lily was talking. I was watching all the streams too. It's insane.
It's like, oh, for the entire time I've known this person, they've been talking shit behind my back. What about my other friends?
Yeah,
You met her
man.
at Nationals.
You just never know.
Oh, dude. Oh, we're finished with this section.
Oh,
Anthony, you
nice.
don't have no idea how much shit I've talked about you.
Yeah, to my
Just saying.
face too. To my face. Like you will crap talk me to my face and not care about it, bro.
Yeah, but that's how I am with everybody though. I'll really
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah, kind of air the grievances out.
I
Yeah.
mean, there's no reason not to, like, especially if it's nothing like crazy, like
Yeah, if it's nothing serious or nothing.
like
it's
again,
just
like half of this shit is like that too. Like half of this stuff is just makes no sense to be private. Like you could just ask if they were such good friends. They could just ask, be like, "Hey, can you not have my editor edit your stuff?
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be like, okay,
Deal with
sure.
it that way." But even if it doesn't go like that, they could just figure it out like together instead of trying to force them into an exclusivity.
Yeah.
Hey, Thomas.
There's just
Bao
so
and
many other
Cinder-
ways to go about it.
Yeah, for sure. Mr. Ratman, do you have any thoughts?
Not really. She's just like kind of. They're kind of bad people. It's kind of a
Kinda.
common,
The comment,
Wow.
yeah.
kind of common thing to say, but
Yeah.
it's not ridiculous.
Like the running theme of this whole video so far.
Yeah.
They're just very bad people.
said, "I remember playing Phasmophobia with you and hearing Red chat away next to you before you first debuted like 4 years ago. You told me he was your boyfriend. Then before we met for TwitchCon, you switched up and said, just so you know, my manager is coming with me on this trip, as if I didn't know who he was. It's even ickier to read this tweet knowing he is your significant other and that you're probably going to try and avoid taking responsibility for hurting people who trusted you as friends by nuking the Red side of this duo. So as everyone could have guessed, Redacted is her significant other. He's her boyfriend and he lives with her. She was fully aware of what he
Damn.
was doing and approved of it. And
Big
yet,
shocker,
right now,
right?
she was throwing him under the bus.
You guys
to
called
try
it
and
too.
save her career.
For like the
Everyone
first,
knows
like,
this
few
is
minutes.
nothing more than a desperate attempt to save your skin without facing
I mean,
any
clearly, you just
responsibility.
spam
It was a
Cinder
very
gifs.
lackluster response
stickers.
to an apocalyptic
Spam Cinder Gifts
expose
was
on
like,
who
oh
she
yeah, I'm pretty
is
sure
behind
she's asleep.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I have no idea though. I don't like live with her or nothing. That'd be crazy.
I see your cursor again.
Yeah, I'm doing it again.
And the scene.
Dude, imagine
And
dating
speaking
someone,
of who
they
she
do
was
something
behind
like
the
this, and they throw you underneath a fucking bus over some drama.
No,
on
it's not that they did
Twitter.
something like this. It's that you both did something like this, and
Okay,
then
yeah,
they just
but like you both
and
do
then they
something,
just like
and then they throw you under the bus
Yeah.
for it.
yeah,
Like they
Wait,
didn't also do
and
it.
and they're not the center of it.
Yeah.
screw it. My experience with Cinder cheating. Oh,
Tashi.
it's about to get good, bro. It's about to get
Oh,
juicy.
cheating?
It's about to get
Someone
juicy,
else
yo.
came out with a document by the name of Rain on a topic that no one could have ever expected, saying, fuck it. My experience with Tashi/Cinder, content warning, cheating? This just keeps getting worse. Let's look at this document, which Tashi says, no, but how nice that would be. Your perfect boyfriend material heart.
Pause this shit. Pause,
Okay.
pause, bro, pause.
It's been paused.
Oh my god.
Yikings!
Oh, that's something.
Oh man.
Something, man.
I want to do.
So think, okay, just to think about this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So, Red did all that, being a horrible person stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then it was like supposed to be both of them are the problem, right? Like
Yeah,
they're
like
both
Bonnie
in
and
on this
Clyde.
together.
Yeah.
And then now we're learning that she's been like this the whole time, and she's doing the same thing that Red was helping her do to Nano
Yeah.
to him.
This is it's insane.
Wait, is he Rain? Is that him?
Rain is not Red now.
No, Rain is
No.
not red.
Rain is
Rain is the
Cinder?
dude
different-
she
No,
cheated on
Tashi
Red
is
with.
Cinder. Tashi is Cinder.
Tashi is Cinder?
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, okay.
Tashi is Cinder.
Oh, okay.
This was her before Cinder. Like this is her ASMR
Okay,
side.
yeah. It's a little confusing, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I was
Continue,
gonna
continue.
say, what do you think? Since there's an hour left of this video, we like stop it halfway through, come back to it tomorrow, and you edit this first half of the video tonight.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
So then we don't have to sit here for another hour, and you can get half the video done already.
Yeah.
And then you can just make it a. Well, I guess it's the
Yeah,
same
you-
video. Never mind.
Well, no, you just put it the same video,
Yeah.
like nothing happened, but we just
Works for me.
record it 2 separate times.
Yeah.
'Cause It's such a long video. So I think
Works
we
for
end
me.
here, or we end after this.
After this section.
We can have it end after this. It's only 6
End it
minutes
after
left.
this,
Yeah.
and then just edit this part, and then move on tomorrow.
Yeah.
Works for me.
Perfect
clown.
boyfriend material heart.
Gross.
Okay. Rain then continues, oh ho, so you want to go at it behind his back? How sneaky.
What the
And then
fuck?
she says, hi honey, I've been talking to this.
Can you pause this shit? Okay, you know what? This would be This would be a funny part.
Oh
Alright,
my gosh. Okay.
Ohio.
Okay.
Okay, I was gonna say we all pick a line.
Wanted him to
and
what?
we just-
Yo, what is it? Wait, hold on. No, I'm not picking a line for this.
I'm not
you
doing
fucking-
this, bro.
You know what?
Oh.
I got
Fun.
I got Tashi's third sentence.
Oh my
Wow. Okay, of
gosh.
course you pick like the least. I was gonna say we just like popcorn read. You know,
He's,
No.
one person
he's just
reads the
gonna read
line,
it
one
anyway, though.
next. Huh?
Mute
Is
it
it-
and
it's
we'll
just-
do it.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
All right.
All right.
I'm not going first.
I'm not going
fucking
first either, bro.
Oh my god, you guys are fucking lame.
This is your idea.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. All right, mute it.
Oh.
Okay. So.
We don't know how fast it's gonna read, so I'm just gonna keep it on
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
pause.
Oh ho! Like a pirate.
Okay. Hold on.
So you.
So
what?
I don't think he said it like that, to be personally honest. Like, I don't think he said, oh ho, like
How
a
do you think he
pirate.
said it? How do you think he said it?
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, you fucking stink.
Okay.
All right. Let me put on both my headphones. I gotta lock in for this.
You're reading a script. Right?
So
Okay.
you want to go at it behind his back? How sneaky. That's why I'm not a voice actor.
You're up. You're up to bat.
Hi, honey.
Oh.
Hi,
continue.
honey.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Hi, honey. I've been talking to this guy about how bad I wanted to F me since you wanted to buy that flashlight instead of giving me any attention when I'm needy.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. How can you say fleshlight but not fuck?
Just read the
You get
lines,
that?
Brandon. Just
All
read
right,
the
yeah.
line.
All right, where's my line?
The third one.
You got the next rain
Third
one.
line? All right, third line. Fucking oof, dude.
Go on.
No, yeah, you got the
You got that. You got that whole thing right there.
Yeah, fucking oof, dude.
Yeah, you got the sentence like right below it too.
Oh yeah, my bad, my bad. Rain. Fucking oof, dude.
You're a
Okay.
voice actor. You should be fine reading shit like this. It's not even that
Nah.
bad.
Literally, why would you even need a flashlight when you have a girlfriend?
This guy's not taking it that seriously.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna press play.
None of this is that serious.
We're demoting
no,
him.
keep
Guy
going,
about
keep
how
going, keep
badly I
going.
want him
Yeah,
to-
yeah.
Lincoln,
doing
you
this
got the
whole-
next
we're-
line.
Oh yeah, we're doing the whole thing through. All right, he sent me a screenshot a couple weeks ago telling. Sorry.
Oh god, I just read ahead. Oh god.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. He sent me a screenshot a couple weeks ago telling me he was getting one and had the nerve to use it in front of me to show me how great it was. How great it was. Wow. Yeah. Must be great.
Yo, what the fuck?
That's your line.
That's like me inviting you to a chatterbait room so you can watch me F someone else in a way,
Oh.
in all the ways I want you to F me. F you, my bad.
Yeah, that sentence was bad. I'm glad I didn't get to read that one.
Isn't that great?
Okay, now I have like all of this.
Yeah, you got that.
I'm very slowly not feeling as bad as him. Or as bad. Oh my
You
god.
guys can't read.
Shut up. I'm very slowly not feeling as bad for him about all of this. Because didn't it honestly leave a bit of a bad taste in my. Okay, why does he. Whatever.
Because you didn't say
Cause it-
cuz, didn't it?
Because it did honestly leave a bit of a bad taste in my mouth.
Jesus Christ.
Stop. that all of this was happening while you were taken, comma. But then ... Yeah, that's a bit gif or sticker. Did you tell him that was fucked and hurtful to you?
He asked me if I was okay with it, and after I explained how I felt, he told me it was too late to do anything about it since it shipped, and he kept it.
Damn.
Behind his back, how sneaky.
I got
And then
the
she
best
says,
lines.
"Hi, honey. I've been talking to this guy about how badly
Yeah.
I want him to fuck me since he wanted to
Oh,
buy
okay.
a flashlight instead of giving me any attention when I'm needy." What? Right? That says, "Fucking oof, dude. Literally, why would you even need a flashlight when you have a girlfriend?"
I can't believe you said
And then
fucking
Tashi
oof, dude, and then the
slash
rest of this.
Cinder replies
Yeah.
with,
Well,
"He
it was
sent me a screenshot
2020,
a couple weeks ago telling me he
so-
was getting one and had the nerve to use it in front of me to show me how great it was. Wow, yeah, it must be great." Rain then
Wait,
says,
so they were
"Well, what the
in person
That's
dating?
like me inviting
Yeah.
you to a chatterbait room so you can
Okay,
watch."
so I was alright. Pause. I was like, oh, well, this is kind of valid because, like, I mean, far
If
distance
it's
or
long
whatever.
distance or whatever.
Yeah, but like in person, and he's like, "Yeah, watch me fuck this fake vagina."
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know they were like in person dating. I thought they were.
Well, I knew that
Yeah,
they
online.
later lived together, but I didn't know it was.
Yeah, I
Oh
didn't
wait,
know
no,
they were
because
at
it
this
was this.
point.
It was this point because the other girl was saying that he was right next to her, and it was at the same time.
Okay,
Mhm.
so yeah, then this makes it worse. The other guy.
That makes it so much worse.
Yeah, it makes it a lot worse because, like, all right, whatever. It's online dating. People just cheat in online dating all the time. Like, it's not really crazy to say that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's insane. Ah, damn.
All right. Well,
man.
we got like 5 minutes left of this section.
Yep.
Yeah, let's continue. Let's cut the head off.
Have, but I'm such an awful person, I don't deserve it anyway. Rain then says, "I don't believe you're an awful person. I believe that you're stressed, you're emotional, and you're looking for something to make it better, which happened to be me when he wasn't helping. Listen, take a break from what we have just for a little bit and see if you can get something out of him first. You can't really have both of us. Plus, it wouldn't be very fulfilling for me to just be the other guy
Wow.
in this scenario and not get the full
That
relationship
sentence
experience
is
myself.
really
You can do
fucked
it,
up.
sweetie. I believe you can, truly." She then says, "I'm so sorry. I don't know what I'd do without you." To which he says, "I'm not saying to stop talking to me completely. I'll still be right here to support you, whichever decision you end up making." And then she says, "I love you so much. I don't know how to thank you." Bro, this is
Yeah, they're
so
both kinda not good
weird.
people.
This is
Yeah.
Nobody
so
in this
weird,
situation is a good
man.
person.
Yeah.
Look, I'm convinced this is some weird, like, roleplay fantasy she has. She knew that Rain felt really weird about this, knowing that she had a boyfriend, so she was making up this story to make him feel less guilty about cheating. That's just
Oh, it's
my
made
theory.
up.
Oh,
right?
it's
But I just
made.
find her
She.
story
It's made
Oh,
up.
he said that's his theory. He said that's his
Oh.
theory.
Wait, what? What'd you say, Rat?
The guy said it's just his theory that it's made up.
Oh.
You can skip back like 10 seconds or something. He says it.
knew that Rain felt really weird about this, knowing that she had a boyfriend, so she was making up this story to make him feel less guilty about cheating. That's just my theory, right? But I just find her story so unbelievable that it just can't be true.
Yeah.
Rain then continues in the document saying, despite what was evidently nothing serious for her and just a means of keeping herself occupied, she felt the need to keep stringing me along with proclamations of real love, which again, I was silly to have believed in the first place, but still. And it's a screenshot of her saying, regardless, I'm always going to love you. He then continues in the document, for obvious reasons, I won't share any of the explicit sexting, not just because of the NSFW nature of it, but also I just don't think it helps. However,
Oh,
note that all
man.
this went on
Fuck.
for several months and
That's what
included more
I
than
was
just
looking forward
text,
to.
as both
Oh,
the date
that's
and
not
Oh,
very
you know what?
blurred.
Yeah.
That's not very
Right?
was in
blurred.
September of
Yeah.
2020, so months since the last DMs we saw, and it features Rain saying, I mean, it looked like something was going down there either way, and then Tashi replies with, it's called fingering, dear. Oh my god. The document then continues. One reason I
my
felt it
reaction.
important to share these details in particular is because I never found out if Red got told about what happened, especially not in full lucidity. The primary reason I've held on to all this for so long was an itching feeling that Redacted never fully knew and that always felt like it would be unnecessary drama, so I left it alone. But now seems as good a time as any. Redacted, if you're reading this, I'm sorry for all that happened back then, I really am, but given the actions you two have taken together regarding other VTubers, I still think you're perfect for each other regardless. The last section of this document is the end. After Cinder got done using me for fleeting sexual gratification, our conversation slowed down, exacerbated by the Cinder character coming into fruition and finding immediate success. I had stopped making content for a decent length of time by then, and thus, she no longer felt she could ladder climb from me. Here we can see this was a conversation mid-2021, with Tashi saying, hey, what was your exam for? I haven't been on this Discord account super often, so I missed a bit, and Rain said she made a new group chat without me. I kid, but yeah, they were the entrance exams for the uni college. Tashi said, nice, congrats on passing them. I've just been on the VTuber side of things working with commissions and whatnot. And then Rain said, what?
Oh, yeah,
And
working with
Cinder
commissions.
doesn't want to be my
Yeah.
friend? Only Tashi does? To which she replied with, it's just easier not having multiple ongoing conversations. Rain continues in the
Wow.
document saying, until eventually she stopped using that account altogether and committed fully to Cinder, and I never heard from her again, something I was uncannily aware would happen even back then. These are DMs from around the same time in 2021, with Rain saying, I'll message you at this time in 2022 and you won't even remember who I am, to which Tashi said, I'd never forget you. Rain then continues the document and says, and that's pretty much it. This isn't meant to be a witch hunt. We all make mistakes, including
he
me, as
message
I've
her
shown in
again
the
or
same
what?
document.
Probably not.
It felt like a good time to get off my chest things that I've been on it for half a decade now and to finally get some closure, even though I know how bad I look alongside her. She's an opportunist whenever she can find a way to be, and she does not care what happens to the people she springboards off from. I can only hope she takes this as an opportunity to change and grow as a person, and I'm just going to throw this one in the end because it's kind of funny for me to see in retrospect. Okay, thanks for reading. And it's a message from Tashi in 2020 saying, don't forget about me when you become a big popular YouTuber. You know what? I didn't read this document until I started recording, and yeah, this caught me by surprise. Wow. You know, I wish Rain had shown this a long time ago so people would have known, okay, this person's kind of weird. And maybe Bao
Kind of a
and
fucked
Nana
up
wouldn't have been
individual.
backstabbed so goddamn hard.
Yo,
But it does leave a bad
how
taste
is there
in my
so
mouth
many
in
people in
regards
this
to Rain
situation
as
that are
well.
just
Releasing
fucked
this
up
information
humans?
now
I don't
does
know,
seem
man.
opportunistic,
Seems like a bad
because it seems like it's
community of
cool to hate
people.
on Cinder.
It's the
In other
VTuber
words,
community, dude. What are you expecting? I mean,
That's what I'm
like,
saying.
there was the stuff with Kenji about a year ago, getting docs and stuff, and now there's this. Like, it's crazy, man. It's
Yeah,
insane.
you're kind of like my czar for that. I don't know nothing about none of the VTuber nonsense.
He was backstabbing her the same exact way she was backstabbing others right now. But speaking of backstabbing, we were slowly but surely uncovering the other people that Cinder had backstabbed because documents kept coming out. Spite, another big
Alrighty.
independent VTuber.
That's it.
Nice.
That's the
All right. I think it's
halfway
actually about
mark.
halfway
This
through
one.
the video too. Yeah.
Yeah. We got Spite,
So it's kind of
Silver Veil, I don't know who that is, and a psychopath's apology, which is at least 15 minutes
good
long.
lord.
The catastrophic
A long-ass
aftermath,
apology.
or the stalking, the traumatic consequences, and the
Probably me, I
conclusion.
guess.
Oh, this is gonna be a long video to edit.
I think, yeah, that's why I was saying just edit this part
It
today.
shouldn't be
Yeah.
that
We
horrible.
do the rest tomorrow.
You just gotta add a fart sound effect.
I want to watch you edit it though, because I have nothing else to do.
Ugh.
Unless you're going to bed.
Exhibition.
I'm not going to bed. It's only 9.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Well,
your
makes
time
sense.
zone.
Spite, another big independent VTuber, posted this on Twitter, quote tweeting Nanolist saying my experience with Cinder and attaching a Google document of her own. Didn't want to be associated with her due to all the negativity that was being thrown my way. Then she links one of the screenshots that were included in Nanolist's
Ironically.
document, in which
Yeah.
Redacted claims that Spite unfollowed
Wait,
Cinder
what do
on
you
Twitter.
mean ironically?
The stuff was being thrown her, like hate was being thrown her way, and then behind the scenes, it's like, hey, don't fucking work with her.
Yeah. Okay, I get it now. Thank you.
And this is
Versa,
what she has to
thanks.
say about it. As for the claims of unfollowing her and
polite.
taking her ideas, I debuted my 2.0 Live 2D model May 14th, 2022, and on that same day, she decided to post her debut announcement for her 1.0 Live 2D model. Leading up to this time, I didn't know who Cinder was at all. I had no idea she had fire in her ears or she was another hellhound. The creator space is broad, and I still stumble across creators larger than myself that I had not heard of before. I never once stole her ideas. All I ever want is to try to be unique in my own way, so these claims that I was following her and then unfollowing and stealing her ideas are absolutely baseless and uncalled for. This is a screenshot that shows that Spite was doing her 2.0 debut on May 3rd, 2022, and 11 days later, Cinder was barely revealing her first model. She had not even done her debut yet. Spite continues in the document, saying her posting her debut announcement trailer the same day as my 2.0 debut seemed off, but I shrugged it off as a coincidence because things happen. However, this wasn't the last time something like this had happened. There have been multiple times where I have done something and either the same day or shortly after I was made aware or had discovered later that something similar had been posted, making me feel like I was being watched constantly. I tried my best to believe that it was coincidental and not ill intent on their part. There were many times where I designed a new outfit that I was really excited for, but afterwards, Cinder would release outfits or models with similarities to it. I didn't think much of it at first because it is normal to have some similarities or shared inspirations with other creators. The VTuber community is a huge space and similarities are normal. I'm not speaking to whether my designs were taken as direct references for hers. I'm addressing the need for the unprovoked tweets mentioned in the screenshots above and showing that I made the statements to make it clear that I was not stealing ideas. How can I copy something that was released/teased/revealed after my own? On July 20th, 2022, Maui Live, my model
Obviously,
Mama, and I worked on a comfy goth girl outfit. I had rips in my shirt, a G-string, shorts, and spiked wrist cuffs. 2 weeks after, Cinder debuted a similar outfit. I included the earliest image that I could find of Cinder with this outfit. I received many negative comments about my design from people assuming that I copied her when I debuted it 2 weeks before hers. I got called off-brand Cinder and just a bunch of horrible things. So these are DMs with her artist saying, "Sounds great, I'm so happy with it," on July 20th, 2022, showing that she was working on this outfit way before the tweet that Cinder made on September 14th, 2022, asking, "What do you think of my new outfit that looks very similar?" Spite then continues in her document saying, "I discovered this merchandise that she used for Uwu Market and had to do a double take because of the gray blue skin tone used in the art. Several people thought it was me, and the similarities for this speak for themselves, I feel." So this is the design itself, and yeah, I mean, they do look pretty damn similar. Not gonna lie. She continues, on April 29th, 2024, I designed a Greek goddess outfit on stream. I am a Cerberus VTuber, so it fits my lore completely. I mentioned that I may or may not get a future Greek goddess outfit because it fits my branding. About 4 months ago,
We're gonna cut to
Cinder
her other,
debuted a Heaven Okami inspired outfit. It was
Greek
white
one that we
and
saw
gold,
earlier.
resembling
Yeah,
a
maybe.
goddess.
I should
In
like
the
that
background
design.
for
It was a
debut,
cool
she
one.
also included Greek columns. At this point, I felt like nothing I could come up with would be even slightly original to me. I'm aware that nothing is completely original, but I still wanted my own identity. So here's the outfit that she drew on her stream,
Yep.
and then here is the
That's
debut
the one I thought
stream
it was
with the
gonna
new
be.
outfit that Cinder came up with. She then continues, on April 20th,
So just like a
2024, I debuted a new
copycat.
model. For my model,
Basically,
Cinder came
yeah.
up with is
I
pretty
got a hoodie with a cute design on top, and I had
loose, I feel.
What'd you say?
He said that this is the new one that Cinder came up with, and I said that Cinder came up with this kind of like a
Yeah,
loose
it's kinda
term.
like a
I
Yeah.
term. I don't know if she came up with a lot of stuff.
feel. Doesn't seem so.
Yeah, it hasn't seemed
No, she
like
even
it.
copied her boobs. What the fuck's wrong with you?
had side bangs covering my eyes.
She had
On
itty bitty,
April
she wouldn't be
4th,
so popular.
2025, so
Exactly.
a year later, Cinder debuted a sports hoodie with side bangs covering her eyes similar to mine. is this
Bro,
a
that's
coincidence, or is it truly her
Okay.
trying to
In
copy
Cinder's
everything she's doing?
defense, that is such a common thing in VTubers.
But this
Maybe
is the
not
thing,
the hair
though.
specifically, but
You got to
like,
think about, like, just
the
how
date, yeah.
1-to-1 this is.
Yeah.
No, it's
You know
definitely
what? I'll do
basically
this.
a one-to-one copy.
I'll do this. In Cinder's defense, she has a dog,
That's true. You see,
so it's completely different, obviously.
I was just gonna say like this, like that hoodie, pajama hoodie thing or whatever. Every single VTuber I've ever seen does that. So like,
I don't know what you've seen. I haven't seen it too much.
doesn't Gargura literally do that?
That's
Isn't
her
that,
whole
like-
outfit.
That's
That's
her
what I'm
like
saying. Like,
her main outfit.
That's
yeah.
literally just
Same,
what
like-
she wears.
you guys are supposed to. Where's my support? Where's my team?
You don't have many examples though. You just have Gura, and Gura's main outfit is that.
Yeah, I don't really have a lot of things
Exactly.
to draw from.
Exactly.
I mean, there's Shoto has one, I think, right? Pretty
I
sure.
don't fucking know, bruh. I just figured out who Shoto was yesterday.
You were okay. You guys aren't nerds like I am, I guess.
I don't know.
I
I'll
don't
let you
know
decide.
nothing.
She then continued.
I still
"There are
think
some
his last
instances
name's
that I do not
Todoroki."
have screenshots of. For example, I remember posting about my first ASMR stream. The day that I was supposed to do said stream, Cinder plugged her ASMR channel. I thought it was a bit suspect, but brushed it off. I don't have any
What,
screenshots of the
Tashi?
comments and bullying that I received from her community. There were too many, it became too much to keep track of, and just started ignoring them because I never wanted to save images of their words that hurt me. I didn't even want to read the harassing comments in the first place. I just wanted to be left alone and be happy in my own space. I received a DM on January 25th, 2023. I will not disclose who the sender was without their consent. The sender expressed to me that they were getting bullied by Cinder and certain members of Cinder's community because she too had fire in her ears. I never responded to the DM because I wanted to stay away from drama as much as possible. Here's what the DM said. Hey, you popped in my feed and can I just say I love your design? I had a rather odd question, I suppose. Have you had any messages from the VTuber Cinder regarding your design? This may seem out of nowhere, but I'm only asking because I had made an original character like a while back and I was accused by her and others of stealing her design because my dog girl had flames in the ears and her fans claimed that was exclusive to her design. It was this whole big ordeal on Twitter, so I wondered if anything similar had happened to you yet. I would like to clarify.
That shit's
I, myself,
exclusive,
am not
bro.
saying your design looks
Yeah,
like hers.
only
I was
Cinder
scrolling,
gets
saw your
fire
totally awesome
ears.
design. When I saw the flames near/in the ears, I had flashbacks and thought to myself,
That would
oh
fucking
no.
hurt.
So I guess this is just my curiosity getting the best of me. Spite continues in her document saying, I'm just very saddened and disappointed in this situation. I had my suspicions about this, but I've never wanted to be a part of drama, so I kept quiet. I've also seen what happens when a creator stands up for themselves and receives major backlash even if they're in the right, so I've never vocalized my concerns. I've always designed my own models. I've gotten inspiration from Cerberus with the chains and spikes, Disney's Hades, and because I call myself Goth Girlfriend, I was inspired by Sam and Ember from Danny Phantom plus many other of our goth crushes that
I
we
call
had
myself
growing up.
that
I
too.
just focused on myself
Goth
and my
Girlfriend.
friends. Meanwhile, I had eyes
Yeah.
on me the whole
Oh.
I see it.
Knowing that I was being watched and talked poorly about really hurts, especially when they never attempted to interact with me. I did my best to go through and find what I could and get appropriate screenshots. It's crazy because I didn't know who Cinder was until she debuted her Life 2D. I just wanted to exist peacefully as a VTuber and spend my time drama-free. I woke up this morning in shock. It's terrifying and hurtful to know that someone could attempt to blacklist me when I've never even spoken to them. I hope going forward that no one else has to experience anything like this. Thank you guys for being supportive towards me. I love this community so much. Please go and give love and support to all those who have unfortunately been involved in the situation. Please support Nanolus, who was very brave enough to speak up, and the VTubers who were affected. Please support my first model mama, the wonderful Maui Live, and also my most recent model mama, the wholesome REVT. Thank you for taking the time to read.
What is the-
So as I said in the
the,
beginning of this document,
What is that terminology?
The,
Like the mama and the babies
I
thing?
explained it earlier.
yeah,
did?
you did, yeah.
Oh.
You were
Uh,
just not paying attention.
Bro, I've been farting and picking my nose.
All
Type
right.
shit.
do you want to explain it to him?
What?
No.
Yeah, they don't have to.
Oh, okay.
I was just
this
curious.
was
Just
one of
continue the
last
video.
two remaining pieces of the puzzle. Who was the Cerberus that they were
The
so
mamas
obsessed
and
with? The
are just the
VTuber
people
they
that
never
made the
even
models.
bothered
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
interacting with, who had this design even before Cinder,
the babies
yet
are
they
obviously
were
who the models
The
were.
completely
people,
and
yeah.
utterly obsessed with her in such a weird and unhealthy way. Honestly, Spite should get a restraining order. Let's be real here. But here's the thing. What about the
Like
last
that.
missing piece of the puzzle? The one who was called VTuber 1 in Nano's document. Well, this is one of the most screwed up cases of this entire incident. And
It's
we're
actually
about to
Tashi.
find out why. So, you no doubt remember the screenshot in which Redacted was trying to blacklist Bao, Cotton, and a third VTuber from ever being able to commission Nano again. I can say to make this better, but I will try my best to properly
Okay, this is her apology. Okay.
Oh yeah, shit. This is Cinder.
This is
Yep.
Cinder's apology. Okay, we gotta lock in for this part.
convey
Hold on.
my feelings,
There's been
frustrations.
one thing that
Uh-huh.
has been kind of like
Two things. Sorry.
you have
Go
to
on.
mean it. There's been one word
Uh-huh.
that's been like the backbone to this whole thing, I think, and it's that word right there.
What word?
Exclusivity.
Oh.
Mm.
That's kind of been like the backbone behind this whole video, I feel. It's just a lot of like literally exclusivity, like it's all that Cinder wants is just like
To be the
Nano
only.
to herself, to be the only hellhound, to be the only fucking anything that she is.
Yeah.
Only VTuber ever.
Yeah, pretty much is what it feels like.
What it seems like.
So then maybe next chapter is when she starts killing people.
She starts
like, I will be the
assimilating them
only
like
one.
like the venom.
Like, yeah, like sucking them into herself.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I can see her doing that.
I could see her doing that. If anyone can do it, I feel like Cinder could.
Yeah, Cinder or like me
Ew.
type shit.
Should we run?
I
Huh?
we should, yeah, I think we should run.
What?
Okay.
There's nothing I can say to make this better, but I will try my best to properly convey my feelings, frustrations, and mistakes. I'd like to explain my point of view and apologize to each party affected. Redacted has been my co-content creator since I began making content, managing all aspects of what I do and being a major part of why I'm here. We have also been in a relationship since the start of my endeavors. It's no secret that many VTubers choose to keep their public and personal lives separate, and I'm no different. As of yesterday, he is no longer working with me, and I have not extensively discussed any of this with him. Where our personal situation goes from here will be figured out between us privately. I never intended to mention us publicly.
Is this the part where she's like, oh no, this is after she's like, oh, Redacted's not working with me anymore, lol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she got called out for it. So this is after.
She threw her
Yeah.
man under the bus, bro. She
Yeah.
tried to save her
Imagine
own
doing that
skin.
over some petty like YouTuber shit.
Well, to
Yeah.
be fair,
Crazy.
she also cheated on him once before, so it's not like it took too much,
Yeah,
I
it's
feel.
not like
Yeah.
kind of just like flip a button.
It's kind of
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, flipping the button.
Flipping the button and pushing the lever.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, you do kind of still push a lever.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
also
you're
flip
right.
buttons too. See?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
there
can
you go.
see that. I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I push levers all the time.
Oh yeah, 100%. Me too. All the time.
Yeah, no,
Like my doorknob.
Yeah,
I was just gonna
exactly, bro.
I was gonna say like my light switch.
That too.
That's a
I be
lever.
pushing that.
Yeah,
I'll be doing that.
be pushing it all day, bro.
I be
a
going up
horrible
to my
bit.
light switch and then doing a backflip. Type
That's
shit.
a bad bit.
Type
Flipping that switch.
shit. Type shit. You do you, bro. You do you.
But given that the claims are out there, I want everyone to know I'm taking this seriously. After years of working on everything together, his hyper business oriented outlook warped my view of what it is I should be doing and what should be important to me as I navigate this career path. I have a terrible work-life balance as it is, and being around projects and streams all day every day made me lose sight of the point. It took all of this happening for me to realize this behavior isn't normal or healthy, and it's not an outlook I want to have. This doesn't
Oh
mean
yeah,
things
sure. All this streaming you do and stuff. Like, come on, man. Come on, dude.
I no wanna no mo.
What?
I don't know one no
Oh,
more.
what?
Is that a what?
Is that a reference to something?
No,
Oh.
no.
No.
So you were just making up something stupid.
Wasn't something stupid. It was only that your tiny brain cannot comprehend.
Exactly.
Okay.
Type shit.
I've willingly done wrong and went along with, or the way I've treated people who were fully undeserving. Guys, right off the bat, it's not looking good, okay? This is...
Yeah, it's not
even
looking good at
changed
all,
much
bro.
if
Holy-
The rest of the
Yes, bad
apology is
apology.
looking
Where's
like
her
this.
dog?
But anyway, she continues, in regards to Nanolith,
Holy
for the
shit.
majority of the time working with her, Red was the one almost solely doing the communication about new plans and negotiations through his private DMs.
Okay, that part is kind of true. I can kind of see that being true.
Although I'm pretty sure he's just a mouthpiece. So
Yeah.
had a project server we were all a part of where the actual art and models were worked on, but the conversations were focused around the work itself. I was not fully aware of the extent of Red's manipulation over Nano's commission decisions, and I should have been
Sure,
more
buddy.
diligent in my
Sure.
oversight.
Yeah.
Every time I had been told that Nano had
neither was
agreed
I.
to work on a new commission with me, it had been willingly and with excitement. From my point of view, it was that she
Willingly is kind of a crazy word to use.
Yeah, she is
Oh.
absolutely throwing this dude underneath the fucking bus.
Not for real.
She's like, I didn't know any of
Oh.
this was going on. Red just did this all of his own volition.
It's insane.
him.
It's all his fault, actually.
It's
None
all his
of
fault.
mine.
It's that. It's
Little
like
Western
that.
apology.
It's that freaking SpongeBob scene with the cop. He did it.
Speaking of SpongeBob,
Oh yeah,
Oh.
where's the dead SpongeBob gif or picture? Sticker.
genuinely wanted to be working on these things.
Robinson.
I
That's
wanted
what
to
I
work with
missed.
Nano as
Ugh.
much as I possibly could, making her art the face of my brand. We had come to the conclusion that it'd be in my best interest to talk with Nano about making more time for my projects by negotiating with her to cut out other work. This was wrong for us to push onto her, and it was wrong to the other creators who wanted the chance of working with her. There was only one specific creator
No
we were
shit.
responsible for naming and pressuring Nano into
Whoa.
reconsidering projects with, not an entire list. Of her own volition, Nano canceled a large portion of her model commissions last September. However, the claim
No,
that
that's
I was
not
just
what I
using
would
her
say
is
was her own
wrong.
volition.
Wait,
From
this is
Yeah.
That's not what I
actually
saw.
undermining what
Not
actually
what I saw
happened.
either.
Redacted pressured Nano to not work with Bao, Cotton, Silver, and there was even
I don't know if
mention
that's.
of
I don't know
Geary
if they
in
know
there.
the
And let's
meaning of
not
the word volition.
Yeah, no.
Just saying.
I don't. Yeah, no. I
Grab
yeah.
yourself a
Not from what I see.
dictionary.
not work with
Pipe
Bao,
dictionary.
Cotton, Silver, and there was even mention of Geary in there. And let's not forget that more recently, Shy Lily was included in there too. So for Cinder to
Yeah.
say Nano canceled these of her own volition is wild, seeing that they manipulated her into doing so. Anyway, she continues, I've always treated Nano with respect, and as my friend, I did give her a lot of work, and we did everything we could to
Okay,
accommodate her
bro.
schedule
Are you
if
gonna
she needed
keep
more time
going,
or a
bro?
break.
You're
And
you're
even helped
cooked.
her with her own project payments.
She's just digging herself a
multiple
bigger
times. I've
grave
invited
at
her on
this
my
point,
stream,
dude.
I've sent her my merch and things she's made for me, and I was always open to talking to her about things outside of our projects in the instances we would message each other. Regarding the exclusivity deal made between them, I had no part in the direct negotiations of their eventual agreement, and I had no knowledge of Bao and Cotton being included in this list. If I had known
sure.
my friends were included, I would have said
Sounds like
something
it.
to put a stop to it. I was only aware of it being about one person who I was unfairly pursuing. When Nano had messaged me about this agreement almost a month later, I was under the impression
I was
that
only
she
aware
cared
it was
about
the
Silver
one
then. I was
person, but
upset,
it
and my
could have
initial
been someone
messages
else
to her were
after.
very
but-
guilt trippy, but I wasn't
That's not
going
what
to
I knew.
force Nano to do anything she wasn't okay with, and tried reassuring her that I was okay with her decision. Nano had also never come to me as
Yeah.
seriously and professionally as her document was looking to address the issues she had with either of us or to terminate our partnership. I had no idea there was even a conversation about Shy Lily recently between Red and Nano until reading her document. It's true I had confided in Red that lately I hadn't been hearing from Lily like I had in the past and was worried something was wrong, but that's as far as it went, and he took it upon himself to try digging for more info. And I was never even aware Nano was ever planning to work on a model for another one of my friends, Geary. I do not condone anything about what Red said about Bao in these DMs either, and him using we and our in this context is abhorrently incorrect and I believe was done to gain greater credibility behind what he was saying. Yes, Red and I were initially upset when Bao hired my editor, and I took it personally when I shouldn't have. I felt as if maybe my content wasn't good enough or like I wasn't paying enough for his work. But I accepted it and was happy for him for getting that bag and supporting one of my friends at the same time. I don't know, at this point, these things are very hard to believe. If she confided in Red how pissed she was, she's admitting that yes, she was pissed and she confided in Red. Red then used this information to add them to the blacklist. But regardless, those feelings are not things you're meant to feel towards friends.
the blacklist.
Anyway, she continues and she says, and yes, I was also upset when Sack, the Boss Rush music video editor, had told us that he won't be working on any future project with us and would instead be working exclusively for Bao. But Red got it in his head that it was Bao's fault that it happened and seemingly held a grudge against her for it. He was very passionate about Boss Rush and the potential future projects around it, but he told me about a music video editor as talented as Sack. The future projects wouldn't reach the same heights, so he created this headcanon that's laid out in those DMs. I wasn't convinced this was the case, but it's my fault for never speaking with Bao about these things directly to clear things up and letting it spiral to the point it got to. Every comment here about her own music, guilt-tripping, and claims about our shared feelings towards her are disgusting, and I honestly don't know why you thought this way about my close friend beyond the resentment over those two things or why it was worth sabotaging her over. Like, again, if you had the time to confide how pissed you were about this to Red, you could have messaged Bao to clear things up. Assuming you had no idea what Red did, it's still kind of a problem that you didn't want to clear this up in one DM. She goes on to say, the "it's just business" screenshot of my DMs with Nano's document was from November of 2023. And I'll go into my thought process of everything I said here. What Red was trying to explain to Nano is that if everyone has a model by her, then the innate value of her models overall are diminished by there being an oversaturation of that type of model out there. If everyone in the world had a VTuber model done by her, then the value of having her model wouldn't be the same as if there were only a handful of them, which she viewed as a negative for me. I understand where he was coming from with this, but in the VTuber space, this isn't something we should have pursued, so I was never upset seeing new model siblings. In many cases, I was there cheering them on at their debuts, and looking to collab with them as sisters when I could. Oh, you mean how you met up with Silver at TwitchCon, cheered that you guys are both wolf sisters, and then stabbed her in the back? Yeah, that makes sense. She continues and says, me saying it's just business was referring to my acceptance of Nano's business decisions, whether she chose to work with me or not. This was not in reference to anyone's model being cancelled, further explaining to her that it's okay if she chooses not to work with me. I can understand where the next part can sound manipulative, but my intention was to reminisce about the journey we had together up to this point, since at this time I wasn't sure if this
Which
is
is a
when Nano
manipulation
and I would stop working
tactic.
together as frequently as we had been, and I'd have to look for a new model artist. I then encouraged her to work on projects she's excited about while I talk with Red to find a project that would work with her schedule. That's definitely looking at things with the perspective of best case scenario. Like, I want to believe that's the case, but with how Red was talking, it just makes it very hard to believe. It was only a coincidence that it ended up being similar to Silver. I was genuinely interested in pursuing a friendship with her and drew fan art myself and us together.
Yeah.
See, that would
I
be
didn't think
considered
about that either.
wholesome, but then teeters on the borderline of being a stalker when we know how hard she tried to be friends with her and then ended up backstabbing her. She continues, on the other hand, Red was in my ear the whole time saying how great working together would be, since again he's been the business-oriented side of my brand. Since I started streaming, I have been ruthlessly compared to Silvervale, being called the discount version of her. I was accused of copying her design, copying her personality, and even copying her laugh of all things. And there was a large number of people who were direct believers in the fact that I stole all of these attributes maliciously for my own gain, citing the art I posted of us together, calling her an inspiration, when in reality this was referring to the decision to become a hellhound. The only time Silvervale was mentioned in the original designing of my character was when we explained why we were pivoting to something else, and there were no references of her character involved. I grew more and more resentful of Silver over time between the constant belittling of myself, a controversy around my first waifu cup, and other incidents, even though she herself never interacted with me directly. And it was also that fact that made me insecure, like I wanted to know if she believed all these things or not. It really felt as if she didn't like that I even existed in the same space. So at the point I was working with Nano consistently, we brought up not making any more models.
I don't even know.
If a VTuber model is how everyone recognizes you, then it'd be harder to compare us directly if we no longer look alike or have that shared similarity. It was a wrong and selfish decision, but it made me feel better, and that's why it was a constant topic with Nano. Red pushed for this harder than I ever did because he knew how it affected me for years, but no matter what the outcome was, I wasn't going to walk away from working with Nano. Silver was completely undeserving of this treatment, and it was my own insecurities that led me to making this choice. I became unapologetically evil towards her due to no direct action of her own. There's no excuse for any of this. It's interesting, right? Because that's exactly how she made Spite feel. And even though that was the case, she never went out publicly to say, hey guys, stop harassing her. This idea of a VTuber copying another has been a problem in the VTubing sphere for a long time, and that's the community's fault. But I personally don't like how often Cinder is throwing Red under the bus. Even here, saying Red pushed for this harder than I ever did. Yeah, so what? You were aware of this, and you were pushing it in DMs with Nano
You're
too.
dating
so
that fucking guy.
Like,
yeah, like it's not like you guys can't talk about it.
You live with him.
Narrative that Red was doing the majority of this, and I was on the sidelines, but I'm still sorry. It's like, no, no, you were very much aware. She continues, moving on from Silvervale, let me talk about Spite. Once again, I had no involvement or knowledge of Red bringing up Spite to Nano in 2023. My only personal involvement with excluding someone specific from working with Nano was Silver. My design sheet and outfit were finished and made public at the very start of 2021. The first thing she mentions is a debut teaser in 2022 that was apparently posted on the same day as her original debut, which I honestly don't know if at the time this was intentional or not. I don't know when I first discovered Spite, and it could have been after she debuted. When I first debuted, I was very possessive of my design details. I had made it a year and a half since my design sheet was finished and public to having a full VTuber debut as I watched everything grow and change from the sidelines, and I didn't want anyone else to capitalize on my concept before I could. Soon after my original debut, I remember Spite getting an update to her model that made it seem like she more closely resembled me, including fire added to her model. Without evidence, I saw it and thought she must have copied me, but I never did anything about it other than voice my frustrations to Red. I didn't want to start drama with anyone, and I didn't have ownership over fire as a design detail. The references for the ripped shirt and shorts outfit on my bikini model was given to Nano in June of 2022 with the purpose of having a cover-up outfit that would be safe for Twitch. The merch art she's referring to was designed around my concept of fire changing blue. The fact that the rest of the art was grayscale was the artist's choice since it was going onto the back of a hoodie and I didn't have a say, or at least I didn't counter that being the final decision. There was no intention to deliberately look like Spite with this piece. Unfortunately, both my Angel and Sleepy outfits being similar to outfits Spite has done in the past was just a coincidence. I had always planned to one day make an Angel counterpart to my Demon outfit when it was being made in 2023, and my original ref sheet laid the groundwork for that idea. I've never liked theming anything around my
See,
brand
I think
in a
it's
religious
funny
light, so
how
I chose
like she's always talking about like, oh well, my original art was talking about this thing that I was gonna do later, and then not one fucking picture. Not
Yeah,
well,
not
not
a
a
single
text.
one.
Yeah, not
The
a
thing
single
is,
like.
I'm willing to believe like some of the things were coincidence, but not most. Like the grayscale looking like Spite, I believe like
Yeah, I'm
that
sure
was probably
that's
just
probably a
coincidence.
coincidence.
Like small stuff like that, but like, oh, yeah, no, Silver, like, I think she hates my guts. Um, so now I'm gonna make sure that my artist never fucking works with her ever again.
Yeah, that's a
Like,
coincidence.
yeah, that's
That's
just
what
like,
Red did. That's Red said that, not me.
yeah, and she was talking about all like red stuff. Like, bro, you were
Y-
probably like engaged. Like,
Yeah,
let's be
you were
real.
probably involved with it.
You sleep in his bed, like or he sleeps in your bed, whichever. Like crazy,
It's wild, dude. Wild stuff. Wild stuff.
ridiculous. Excuse me.
Just like I'm willing to believe some coincidences, but not everything she's
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Because she's trying to say like her two talking points are like, oh, this was a coincidence or Red did it.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
seems to be like her
That's-
only two things she ever talks about.
Yeah,
Yep.
which I'm just not willing to believe that's the case for everything.
Oh yeah.
to make my angel
Anyways.
form more Greek Valkyrie than biblical, which also gives it a similar look to my demon form. The Sleepy outfit was a last-minute decision to pivot from a fully new 3.0 model because I had the opportunity to work with gamer subs on an AFK flavor. Spike never should have received the hate comments over her outfit or any comments comparing us or belittling her because of my existence, and I never advocated for anyone to do so, especially given my experience. In regards to Spike,
Except
I'll
for
let you
Nano.
decide. Was it a coincidence that so many outfits matched each other? And is it a coincidence that every time Cinder complained about anything to Red, he would make it personal? Anyway,
exactly.
she continues. Spite also brought up another creator who reached out to her about their experience with me, and I can only assume it's Niantails. They are an ASMR artist who at one point posted a Hellhound original character for one of their upcoming ASMR videos, and it was undoubtedly created using me as a reference.
Damn.
This was right after my debut, and like I said, I was very protective of my design elements being unique to me, and I overreacted. Shortly after, I apologized, and they agreed to adjust the character
So
design.
it
and I
seems
thought the
like
matter
people
was
just
settled.
like Hellhounds, and coincidentally, since Cinder was like the first one, everyone's copying Cinder.
Yeah,
They have to be because she's the first one.
she was the very first Hellhound ever.
Yeah. So obviously everyone's copying her.
Yeah.
Obviously.
It's the only logical thing.
Makes so much sense now. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you know what?
I
I'm
get
on
it now.
Cinder's side.
Yeah, you know what? Me and her big titties. We got this. We
Us
got
against the
this.
world.
Us against the world. Yeah. I hate that character. Fuck Cloak and Dagger.
Cloak and Cinder.
All right, you can
At
unpause
the
it
very
now.
start of my online career, I was a girlfriend experienced ASMR
Wasted no
For
time.
artist.
anyone
Before
who
I started my
anyone who
channel, I
seems
had
to
gotten
watch
into
this
listening
video,
to roleplay audios
we're
myself.
joking.
I had
Yeah,
always
yeah,
been
we
shut
are
up about
joking,
high
by the
school and
way.
college, and I wasn't happy
No, we're
with
not.
where my life
Yes,
was
we are.
going.
Stop.
After uploading my first few audios, my channel started growing fast. This was the first time I was inundated with so many people wanting to know me and talk to me, and I got lost in the excitement of it all, not fully coming to terms with these messages being because of the kind of content I was making. I was immature and inexperienced with how to conduct myself online. I have never had many IRL friends and had met Rain doing ASMR. I quickly became comfortable chatting with him about everything, divulging my grievances about my personal life when I shouldn't have. I cheated on my boyfriend
this is
with
about the
Rain in these
cheating.
conversations,
Yeah.
flirting, and sexting. I used Rain for emotional comfort and sexual fantasy while I let my real-life relationship collapse. It was about my dissatisfaction with my personal life and escaping into messages with someone else who I found through content focused around girlfriend and boyfriend RP. It was never about climbing the ladder with Rain, and I find that being his takeaway from why I moved on baffling. By the time I was ready to debut as Cinder, I wanted to leave that in the past. Still, to this day, I regret my decisions and have been living with it since, and I was lucky to be able to mend my relationship after this. So
Yeah, I'm sure you think about it all day.
cheated, and Rain
Yeah.
was fully aware, at least as far as we know. Yeah, maybe Rain did have the wrong conclusion here. Maybe she actually moved on because she wanted to leave this part of her life behind, sure. But did she cheat? Yeah. She then continues and says, and lastly, I want to address
Yeah.
Peaches. This is a very big problem I have, and I'm
Peaches.
sure many others in my position do too.
Peaches,
At the end of the day, I am
Peaches.
one person. I am one person working on multiple projects with multiple companies, talking to dozens of people, and streaming for hours almost every day. I've never had a big social battery, and I get tired very easily when interacting with people. I haven't had much energy at all over the past year, leading to me taking frequent naps. I've rarely been able to keep up with my closest handful of friends on a frequent basis, let alone everyone else. Brett has always been a big help in keeping up with things,
Just
but
sounds
he
like you're a
doesn't
fucking
do
horrible
everything.
person.
I'm so sorry
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
feel forgotten, Peaches. I've always
I have a
cherished your
bad social
friendship, and I was
battery
so
too, but I still
incredibly
talk to
excited
my
meet you in
fucking
Paris.
friends.
I'm so grateful
Exactly.
for everything
Yeah.
you've done for me, and
I
I
don't
never
take
thought to
naps.
purposefully drop you just because I could. I'm sorry, I know I've made a lot of people feel forgotten or ignored. It's so easy to get caught up in projects or what I'm doing while I have the energy to do it that people fall by the wayside. I understand the feelings of those who resent me over this, and all I can say is I'm
Wait,
sorry.
she's
I
meeting
don't
in
deserve
Paris?
to be
Huh?
Okay.
Oh.
You know who
able to
else is in
contact everyone
Paris?
involved directly to personally apologize, so I'll do it here in the chance they read it. So before we get into the individual apologies, I just
Anthony.
want to clarify, Peaches means Van
gotta finish my
Peaches.
joke.
This is the same VTuber who called her
Huh?
Never mind.
Never.
You'll notice in editing, probably.
out for having a
Maybe.
boyfriend and trying to hide it from her, as if they didn't know each other. Now let's get into the individual apologies, starting with 2Nano. I'm sorry I let things get to this point or even entertain the thought of you working exclusively with me. That's not fair to you. I wouldn't be here without you, and I wouldn't have been able to do most of what I've already done without you. I felt overly attached to our
No, we
relationship
were still
over the
going
past
with
4
Nano
years
right
and
now.
loved your work so much that I wanted to make myself
Yeah.
exclusive to your art and should have never sought those feelings to be reciprocated. Everything you've ever worked on for me was always so perfect, and I lost sight of how everyone else around me would have felt. I had no intentions of pressuring you into anything, but looking back on my clouded judgment, I can see how my messages felt that way. When I talked about how my models helped you improve, I meant that as
Classic
looking back on how far
gaslighting
we've come
technique.
together. We've been
Yep.
friends for so long and cheered each other on when we both started growing and getting more opportunities like plushies, figures, etc. You had been my exclusive artist for full life 2D models for the majority of my time as a VTuber, and of course I would have been sad if you didn't want to continue that relationship, but in all our private DMs, I was okay with you ultimately doing what was best for yourself. I saw you as someone I trusted and loved and wanted to make sure you were still taking care of yourself with all the projects you took on, mine or otherwise. I never saw you as just a business partner. I thought I was reassuring you that I'd always be understanding if you wanted to move on to other projects. I genuinely
I
appreciate
thought I
our
was
friendship.
reassuring
I always
you.
saw you as a
Jesus
close friend, and I'm
Christ.
sorry for what I put you through. To Bao, since the start, I've always admired you and how genuine you've always been to everyone. I wouldn't be here without you either. I'm disgusted with myself for buying into the narrative that
Well,
my
now
friends
you're
were
not gonna be
competition.
here.
I've
Yep.
never
Yeah.
had such genuine friendships in my life, especially with you. We've gotten to know each other so well online and in person. You've already been through so much, and the last thing I'd want to do is cause more harm. Well, that's a bit too late.
Well,
But I did. I'm sorry for not reaching out sooner about these ideas that were put into my head. I wish we would have been able to talk about this too. I didn't know about the severity of things that had been said and theorized about my own friends behind my back until now. It's my fault for not realizing the things Red was saying about you. The countless friendships I've made here within the last several years mean so much more to me than him and the business side of things. Wait, did she just say the countless friendships I've made
Yeah.
here within the last several years mean so much more to me than him and the business
that's
side
what I
of
was about to
things?
just say.
Friendships mean more to you than your boyfriend, or did you just write this like in a non-clear way? Anyway, no amount of popularity or money means more to me than the relationships I've built in this community. I've always
Well, I
been
mean,
myself,
clearly
whether
that's
that
not a
be as
lie
streamer in
because she
person.
cheated
Yeah.
on
I hope
him
the friends
Yeah.
out there
the
can
same.
understand. I
Probably
never
doesn't-
condone
probably
this
doesn't care about
behavior
it
or
that
any of the
much.
things that were said about my friends.
I'm
I've
sure
always
she-
wanted
she
everyone
could
around
make
me
do
to
without
thrive
him
and
at this
find
point.
happiness. I can't stress enough
Yeah,
how
I
disappointed
mean,
I
his
am
name
that I
is
didn't see
Red.
this sooner
Like-
until it got to a breaking point. I'm sorry, Bao. After all these documents and these different people
Just wait
and
till
their
he finds Blue.
perspectives and their points of views, is there a single word that you believe in this paragraph? Let me know in the
Yeah.
comments. Next up we have Sasak. I loved getting to chat with you in person and absolutely loved all the hard work you put into the Boss Rush song. I was so grateful to hear you were on board to edit the music video. I don't remember exactly why the stream got pushed back, but I definitely wouldn't have put the blame on you knowing about how soon the deadline was when you started working on it. I was so thankful for your willingness to complete the project despite everything, and the quality of how it turned out was incredible. I can't believe how Red talked about you, especially after all the effort you put in for me. I'm so sorry for everything that's happened. Next up we have Takaten and Shy Lily. They don't get individual apologies, they got grouped up
Yeah.
together.
Oh.
Anyway, she said, "I'm so sorry you
They're
had
not
to get dragged
popular
into this.
enough.
They're not
It's
popular
frustrating
enough
as
for
fuck,
me
but I
to-
hope you can
I
believe
don't
Make
it.
them
care
suffer.
about you guys enough to
Bring
give you
up
like
in Nano's
actual
DMs. I
apologies.
just
You guys
learned
get a
about all
good
this
one.
myself,
These
and
are
there can
both
have been so
applicable
many
to
other
you
friends
guys.
affected by the narrative that things always had to be competitive. If I knew Red was trying to exclude specific friends in this exclusivity
Oh my
deal, I would have
God.
spoken up. None of my friendships are worth sacrificing over an art piece. I love being your friend and all the memories we've shared, and I hope someday you can forgive me for allowing this to happen. Next up we have To Silver. Since the start, I loved that I saw someone else else sharing so many similar interests to me, and I thought maybe someday we could talk about it all and be good friends. I was blinded by all these hate comments around me calling me your lesser half. I hate the person I've become towards you. I tried reaching out some time ago to try to start up a friendly conversation to change things and make things right, say hi to you at conventions and support your endeavors, but despite all that, I was still being eaten alive by my own doubts and fear or harassment. I was pressured by the community as a whole to try reaching out to collaborate since I got these messages so often comparing us, and I hoped we could work something out. The photo of me at the meet and greet was taken candidly and I thought it looked cute, and I posted it without asking you, which was wrong of me. I was so wrong for letting everyone get in my head about all these malicious feelings. I'm so sorry for any opportunities I've taken away from you. I'm sorry, Silver. Then we have the shortest apology in the entire document.
Oh my
Despite-
gosh,
I'm sorry
dude.
I had assumed things about your design that weren't true, and I'm sorry you've been harassed by commenters needing to compare us. And I apologize for the way Red spoke about you to Nano. You didn't deserve any of this spite.
Holy
I'm
shit,
sorry.
that shit is
Next
so
up, we have
annoying.
That's
Peaches.
I'm sorry every single time, dude.
No, it's not even just that. She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Red did this.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry, Red said this about you." And then like,
yeah.
"Oh no, I'm sorry, I did this." Fuck it.
Oh,
Well, she didn't do anything.
Yeah, she didn't know. It's just Red. It's just Red. His name is Red.
Peaches. I'm
Like,
sorry if I made it seem like I was ignoring or ghosting you. I was so happy we had the opportunity to meet in person, and
who's Peaches again?
Jackie Robinson.
Okay.
I was apologetic with how busy things were for me at the time. I wanted to spend more time with you, but as I got more and more DMs and messages, everything became so overwhelming. I've always had a low social battery, and that made it so hard for me to keep up to date with all my friends. I've never had any ill feelings towards you, and I still don't. Next up, we have Rain. To Rain. You were the first person I met as an ASMR artist during a time where I was immature and vulnerable. I ended up being consumed by the content I was making, and it led me to making awful decisions I still think about and regret. I was not in a good spot at the time. I've hated myself for this kind of behavior, and it took a long time for me to move on from what happened. I have no excuses. I'm sorry you were dragged into my drama, and I'm sorry how I made you feel after I just wanted to close the book on things. And finally, she says, I'm sorry to my Pyro Pups and my mods for expecting me to lead a better example than this. I'm sorry to the VTuber community for looking towards me as someone to aspire to. I'm sorry to Kaiser, who's put his heart and soul into everything he's ever done for me and not even talking to you about how I felt. I'm sorry to the dozens of artists that have put their hard work into me, and I'm sorry to the rest of my friends who I've let down. I've led a bad example, and I don't expect forgiveness. I've made many mistakes over my 5 years on the internet, and I'm only one person living the one life I get for the first and only time, like everyone else. As I said at the start, I ended up developing an extremely unhealthy work-life
I love how
balance, and the
anyone
hard
who's
work-
like a manipulator always says that exact line.
Wait, which one?
It's my first time living life.
oh yeah.
Oh,
We're allowed to make mistakes. It's our first time living.
it's our
all just
first and only
humans.
time.
We're all just humans.
Red has caused with the way he viewed
Come
things is
on,
irreparable. The way I've been
human.
perceiving
was
things
gonna-
lately is not how I want to view the
gonna
world
say
moving forward, and this goes to show there's a lot I need to address and improve if I'm going to continue being a creator. I'm devastated that the friendship so special to me may understandably never be mended again. I love my job, and I love all the friends I've had. Thank you for
Oh, your
reading.
boyfriend.
Signed, Sin.
Yeah.
Woo,
Why
what
not
a
do an
read.
apology
My
to
voice is
Red?
almost gone.
Yeah,
What
it's
did
all
I
his
get out
fault,
of this?
though.
Well, it
Fucking
was kind of
shoved
what I
him
was
underneath the
expecting. There's nothing she
horse.
can really say that can repair what happened. Sure, Redacted was her manager, he was doing the talking for her, and even if we were to believe her and give her the benefit of the doubt 100%, we still have proof, and she admitted that she was purposefully targeting Silver. All of this was also happening over the last couple of years, maybe even a bit longer. This isn't just about her not being aware and Red being the guy who did all of this by himself. This is about how she's the boss, Red is her manager, and in any other industry, this would be considered gross negligence. Just imagine with me for a second, if Nano didn't make her document, then how long would this have carried on? I get goosebumps just thinking about it. Like, this is ridiculous. And it's actually very easy to shut down all her excuses. She was there when Bao showed her the model that Nano was working on. Throughout this entire document, she kept saying how Nano was more than just an artist. She was her friend. She loved her. When Bao vented to her and her friends in the group chat that the model was cancelled, a true friend would have messaged Nano, asked what was going on. A true friend would have reassured Bao, seen how they could help, but she didn't do any of this as if she was already planning it to begin with, and guess what? She was. Throwing your boyfriend under the bus for everything is just not gonna cut it. Other VTubers, especially the ones mentioned in the document, thought the same thing. So they made sure to publicly reply.
I want to see Red's
When she
side
saw her
now.
response,
Yeah.
Bao replied almost immediately saying, How can you say you didn't know? I showed you both my base model sketch from Nano at WeebCon. We walked on stage and performed together. You were in the group chat where I shared my sadness over Nano suddenly canceling my model after we were so close to begin Live 2D and rigging. And to now find out that just the day before I shared my sadness, this is the conversation that happened that ruined months of debut prep, planning, merch preparation. If you want to apologize to me, please do it properly and stop hiding behind Red. About attaching the 2 screenshots we already saw in
Thank
Nano's
God
Yeah.
someone
document
said
and
something.
a new
Fucking
screenshot
what?
showing the group chat where she vented about Nano dropping her. It's just not adding up. This apology is only
What the
making
fuck is
things
that
worse and even
chat
weirder
picture?
for Cinder. Shy Lily replied to
Oh
this
my
apology,
gosh.
and here's what she had to say. The absolute audacity to sit here and continue to manipulate and gaslight is
Thank you.
absolute insanity. The
Bro, you know it's bad when Shy Lily says something, dude. Oh
Shy
my
Lily ain't so
gosh.
shy no mo.
She ain't shy no more, for real.
pain and mental torment you've caused to the ones closest and most supportive of you has been devastating, and I have never been so heartbroken and hurt so badly for my friends. You are the fakest person I've ever had the displeasure of supporting.
Dang.
Reading and hearing of how you've really viewed me behind my back, not just through screenshots of your man, but also your very own messages,
Call her a
while having
bitch.
to sit here and read through these bullshit lies you spin makes me want to vomit. To claim that you didn't know a
Jesus
single thing
Christ.
and had zero awareness
She going
of
in.
what man
But
was
she
up to, and
is,
everyone
bro.
Music
shared
in the
even a
background,
single
too.
moment with you knows that you basically operate as the same person, sharing every waking moment while loving to jump at the slightest opportunity to turn into your most slanderous self as soon as the opportunity was given, even when talking about your friends, is sickening. I have experienced your own actions without Red in a situation where in your own screenshotted words you express a pressure to live up to what Lily is, and proceeded to throw one of your most loyal and supportive friends under the bus after months of continuous planning just because you consistently chose business over friends, never feeling bad for failing them. Just to earn the bag and compete
It's
with me
still
over a
going,
V-Card
bro.
collab that
Oh
you
my
rescheduled to be on
gosh.
the exact date your friend needed you to keep an important promise. You actively lied about it to them, instead blaming me for a collab you rescheduled, adding me to the pool of excuses to save your ass when you realized you were being a bad friend. Why blame me for choosing to miss an obligation you agreed to on one of the most important days in that friend's career? Everything you do is out of competition through your constant need to one-up people who are the sole reason you even have these opportunities and platforms to earn from to begin with. You're welcome, by the way. You claim that it's just business. Well, in the business world, there has to be accountability, and all you've done is try to shove it away and admit nothing. In true narcissistic fashion, you're only feeling sorry about yourself and your own consequences in your career and try to salvage it. I'm sorry for everyone who looked up to you as an inspiration, and I'm especially sorry for your fans. Pyropups deserve better. Wow. You know, Shy Lily typically
she just got
avoids
a
drama
follow.
even when there's
Yeah.
no name involved. She avoids it. She never gives it any attention.
Well,
But
she's
this
earning
time,
my
not only did
support.
she have something to say, she gave out a career-ending statement, bro. And speaking
Not
of
for
career
real,
ending,
dude.
Cinder's
I wouldn't
post
show
has
my
almost
face
as
after
many
that.
comments as likes, with many
And
people
I'm not
expressing
showing
their
my face after that.
discontent. The most liked
Or my
reply here
tits.
is Buff Pup saying, "Dude,
Exactly.
f- off." And as you can see, some of the biggest independent VTubers on the planet are here saying how disappointed they are, while simultaneously not being in the slightest convinced by
Yeah, it's
anything
actually
in
pretty
this
correct.
quote-unquote
That exact
apology of
picture.
hers. It's a disaster. But you would be gravely mistaken
Oh
if you
my
thought
Oh my
God.
gosh,
this incident is
dude.
the gift that keeps on giving. Aru, the literal ass behind the Invisible Woman in Marvel Rivals. Yeah,
Wait,
I'm not even
what?
kidding. They actually used
What?
her as reference. But more importantly, she's a streamer and content creator who used
That's
to be
crazy.
a VTuber and is on friendly terms with Silvervale. She revealed
Now I know
to
why
us
I made
after
that
Cinder's
character.
catastrophic apology that her weird,
funny 'cause we were just talking about Marvel
stalker
Rivals.
behavior
We
towards
were.
Silvervale
Not just,
didn't
but-
start in 2023. This went on for way longer. And she
What?
tried to use Aru to get to her. Here's what she had to say in her statement. I hadn't planned
Good
on tweeting
God.
anything about this until I saw Cinder's apology. While I wasn't hurt to the extent others were, it's clear now that I was lied to and used, not treated as a friend, but as a tool. I first met Cinder during a Twitch Rivals tournament and really looked up to her. We hit it off, messaged a lot, and got even closer at TwitchCon 2022, where I spent most of the day with her and Red. At one point, she noticed I was mutuals with Silvervale, someone I admired since meeting her at PAX, and asked if I could introduce her. I thought she was just a fan like I was. Cinder invited me to go with her to Silvervale's meet and greet, and it meant a lot to me. As someone who didn't grow up with many social invitations due to being homeschooled in a foreign country, that gesture felt special. But looking back, I realized she only invited me because she thought I could give her access to Silvervale. After I introduced them, Cinder pushed me to ask Silvervale for a collab. I'm someone who rarely initiates collabs. I prefer to build friendships off stream first or let things happen naturally. Still, I went out of my comfort zone to help because I believe she genuinely admired Silvervale. Now I know now, that wasn't true. And realizing she actually harbored resentment the whole time makes me feel completely used. I wasn't a person to her, just a connection. I did message Silvervale about the collab the first time, but when Cinder followed up again, I brushed it off because I didn't want to pressure her. Over time, I started noticing that Cinder didn't treat me like a real friend, more like a means to an end. Sometimes she made it clear IRL that she didn't even like me, and I can't help but think it's because I didn't push harder for the collab. By 2023, our interactions had nearly stopped. Still, I tried to keep things friendly in DM/IRL because I didn't know how to stand up for myself or set boundaries. Don't worry, even if you set boundaries, she would have still found a way to backstab you, right? Look at Silvervale. Anyway, she continues, that's changed now for obvious reasons. It's hard to say, but Cinder's apology doesn't feel genuine, especially not towards Silvervale. The truth is, Cinder isn't the only one who makes others in this space feel used or small. People like her, Yaki, and others made me feel that the best choice for myself was to step away from VTubing entirely and made me afraid to build new connections. But as I said yesterday, there are good people in this space and they're the ones worth holding on to. Don't let the bad ones stop you from being your genuine self. To my community, I think I'd like to try coming back to VTubing. When we talked about it last night, hearing how much all of you love the VTubing streams honestly hit me hard. It made me sad to realize I gave up on something I loved just because of the shitty, awful people who poisoned the space for me. To the friends I pulled away from because I was trying to protect my peace, I'm sorry. I'd love the chance to reconnect and rebuild those friendships. I started VTubing because I believed in the joy and creativity of this community. It's heartbreaking to see that spirit dimmed by people who take advantage of others' kindness, hold them accountable, call it out. What I went through wasn't nearly as intense as what Nanolis experienced, but I do understand how hard it is to say no to a friend, especially when they make you feel like you're the only one who can help. I truly hope everyone affected by Cinder can heal and move forward, and I'm sorry for any negativity this situation has brought up from my side as well. She then links 3 different images of DMs between her and Cinder. The first image is from 2022, and it's Cinder starting off the conversation saying, would you want to come meet Silvervale with me at 2:30 p.m? Aru then says, of course, I'll go with you, to which Cinder says, I'm just really nervous and I think I remember you meeting her before. Dude, she is so sneaky. Aru then says, yes, I've met her, oh my god, she's so nice, don't worry. To which Cinder said, you're the best, oh my god. Aru said, that's you, what time do you want to meet up? Cinder said, whenever you're free, and Aru said, okay, I'll be free in 10. In the next image, a few days have passed, and it's Cinder saying, were you still thinking about messaging Silvervale about a wolf girl chat? I'm not sure if she'd really want to, but I'd love to do more with you anyway. We should plan our spooky collab when we've recovered from this weekend. Aru then says, yes, let me message her and ask if that's okay. Yes, I agree, let's plan something. Cinder then says, we can wait a bit if you're still recovering, but if you had a day/time in mind, just let me know. My schedule's pretty open right now. I know I'm pooped from this weekend, but I want to do lots with my friends still, to which Aru said, sounds like she would be down to play games together once her schedule clears up. In the third image, we see DMs between Aru and Silvervale, with Silver saying, hi, it was amazing seeing you too. Aru then says, I was wondering if you'd ever be down to play some games off stream if had time. Totally understandable if you're too busy though. Cinder and I were just talking about how fun it would be to have a canine night. Cinder was the hellhound that was with me at the meet and greet. Silvervale then said, that would be a ton of fun. I've been really busy lately with the con prep and stuff, but things have been calming down lately. There's also a fourth image, so it wasn't just 3, and these are DMs with Cinder and Aru around a couple weeks after the initial meetup, and it's Cinder saying, hey Aru, have you heard from Silvervale about doing a wolfie collab with us? To which Aru said, let me message her right now. So hey, yet another person
Just
that
so
Cinder
interested on
manipulated and
Silvervale.
used. What a surprise. Bear in mind that a year later she would go on to also show up to her meet and greet and
Seems
tell
like
her
every
mythic
time that
manager
she's
to
messaged
message
her,
on
it's just
her
about
behalf.
Silvervale.
I'm telling you, the people involved
Seems
here
so.
need to get a restraining order on Cinder. This is ridiculous. Shortly after this disastrous apology, Bao went live to talk about it, and look, it was very emotional. Here's what she had to say. I'll let her do the talking.
And what I would have done if I was in their shoes, I just I can't understand. I couldn't understand it. I couldn't understand it. We had been through so much offline and online, and there is nothing more confusing and more painful than seeing someone in your friend group be so kind and so warm to everyone around you, and feeling that they have slowly become colder and colder towards you, and not knowing what you did or if it's your imagination. But because everyone loves them, you don't know if you want to say anything. And so you keep it to yourself, and you keep hoping it's your imagination. But then the cruel realization hits that it wasn't. And it's even more worse than you could have ever imagined.
So yeah, it's definitely a very hard watch.
Oh, it's insane,
Yeah,
dude.
it's a
Oh my
little,
gosh.
um,
What'd you say? Your mic kind of cut out there, my fault.
I wasn't saying really anything.
That's kind of insane.
Oh
Yeah,
my
that's basically
gosh.
baseline of what I was gonna say, pretty much.
It's so messed up, dude. Gosh.
Look, to the average person, this is just another drama, but to these people like Bao and Cotton and Silver and so many more, this is real life. This is someone they've known for years and genuinely thought that they were close and they were friends and they tried their best to treat Cinder like a precious person, not just a content creator or a VTuber. This is not something they'll just get over, right? They need therapy. They need psychiatric help. This is trauma. It's very hard to trust someone after something like this. As I've already mentioned, this didn't happen overnight. This was a multi-year operation from both Cinder and Redacted to backstab her friends, and she only apologized because she got caught. That is it, and people won't be forgetting about it anytime soon. But the question on everyone's minds is no doubt, is this the end of Cinder? Well, not necessarily. She might have burned every possible bridge in the VTuber community, but that doesn't mean she won't have viewers. She's an absolute psychopath that can't be trusted, but hey, other creators have done worse things and they still have a career. She will just never be able to reach the same level she had before this controversy, that's for certain. And in the end, controversies like these only serve to hurt gamer subs even further. She's a partial owner. I wouldn't be surprised if they dropped her. Anyway, that's the entire drama. I don't know how long the
probably
video is going to
should.
be.
Yeah,
but just
it
because
most
it's a little bit
definitely
to the end,
should.
you get the
Probably
reward of
like,
seeing
for
what
publicity.
4chan has to
For
say about it.
sure
That's
should.
right.